So, like, I experienced a thought, a thing I thought would be fun to do. And also, if you can hear the noise in the background, just pretend you can't, because I can't do anything about that. And the idea is, add something, take something away. So you start off with a character, any character. Doesn't even have to be your character, because we're going to be modifying the character. But I guess I will make a character. No, wait, do I have any characters I could use? Like, the last time I drew was like in February. So, transparent. I don't actually know if you can see the files on the screen. So, like, you get a character, put it on there, and you can start with either taking away a feature of the character or adding a feature of the character. It is entirely up to you. If you're doing a character that isn't your own, I recommend just translating the character to your style first, you know, because sometimes a character just ends up looking very different once you've translated it to your style and drawn it in a way that makes you comfortable. Like, I know a lot of the time if I draw a character, like a canon character, they don't always quite look like themselves just because it was me drawing them. Because I definitely have certain features I tend to draw on a character. And I figure that the whole idea that it's like a little challenge where you either add or take away a feature first. It's up to you to decide how extensive you want that to be. Like, you can, like, if you're taking away, you can just take away the ribbon, or you can have it be more. Or if you're adding, you can add something like a ribbon bracelet, or you can add multiple things. It's up to you how much you want to do for each thing. And you can repeat the loop as many times as you want until you have a distinctive character. Because obviously, if you're doing it based off someone else's character, you want to get the character looking as far away from that as possible, so you're not just stealing the character. Because I don't know if you know this, but people don't like it when you steal their characters. But if you decide to do this little game, I don't mind if you know, start with one of my characters as a base, but obviously make sure you change the character so it is not just the same by the time you were finished. And you can do it as many times as you like and put as much effort into the drawing as you want. Like, you don't even have to colour it, it's, you know, up to you. You could just do a really lazy little sketch. You can see already on my first layer, on my first go through, I'm adding features. I decided to start with add. And already it doesn't, there's already changes. I was going to say it doesn't look like the same character, but it does look like the same character. I haven't actually really been doing any digital art this year. I've been kind of burnt out on art in general, I think. And part of it is, I think I'm just hugely in burnout, and part of it is the whole AI art thing on the internet. It feels like no matter where you look, there's AI art. And when I talk about AI art, that I'm meaning like generative AI art, where they're training models on other people's art, and the people aren't consenting, and it's really hugely unethical and actually gross, and it has impacts on the environment too, because these art models, they use up so much water. Like, they are wreaking havoc on the environment, and I don't, even ethics aside, in terms of artists, I think that is a really terrible thing. And there was actually a thing where Instagram was like, hi, we're actually going to scrape everyone's posts for our own model, and it's like, they've probably already been doing it too. I think they have already been doing it. So it's like, that doesn't motivate me to want to post onto Instagram if I know that they're just going to scrape everyone's posts. I was planning on using Glaze for my art to post it again, and Nightshade, but my computer's GPU is actually not good enough for Glaze 2, the latest Glaze. So I sent a tweet, well, I sent a message to them to see if I can join the web AI, the web Glaze. So I just have to wait for a reply and hope I can join that, so I can start glazing my artwork and maybe start posting again, because it has been a while since I've really regularly posted art. At the moment, I'm just, on Twitter at least, I'm posting old artwork, just so I have some artwork on my Twitter again. But, like, it feels like there's just constant, every single time I go on the internet, there is horrible news regarding something. Like, there's obviously the thing I've been talking about, the generative art, and that sucks as an artist, because there are people that would rather have this junky environment killing thing than actually have human artists that enjoy doing art work with them. They'd rather just have all this junk that ruins the world. Like, thanks. Nice knowing that you don't value us so much. And then there's also what's been going on with Palestine, and I know that it's important to share information and to donate. Honestly, I think the thing that helps the most in terms of Palestine is donating the funds to the people that are trying to get out, donating the funds to help them survive. That is probably the most important thing, but obviously sharing the information and sharing their posts and sharing where you can donate is also important, but the thing that will help them the very most is just giving the money. And there's been a lot of, like, I'm gonna say quote unquote, because there's like internet celebrities, and then there's celebrities like from like music stars, these Taylor Swift level celebrities. Like, I would not classify who's an internet celebrity? Ethos Lab and Taylor Swift in the same level of celebrityhood. In fact, I don't even think Etho would call himself a celebrity. But, you know, like, there's internet personalities, and then there's people who... yeah. And seeing so many of them, when they have these platforms, not try to use the platforms in the slightest, is disappointing, I think. So this character is pretty flat-chested, but for part of our ad, we're gonna add some titties. Why not? And that's really disappointing. Like, you see Dan Howell and Phil, they did a live stream, I think, and they raised a lot of money. And Ariana Grande, there was $40,000 raised just because she shared something to her story. Like, these celebrities and online presences, they could be doing a lot, and by not even mentioning it or pretending it's not happening, it's really doing a disservice, I think. Like, there's been the Digitine, where people are starting to block celebrities, and then as a result you're getting celebrities that are doing, quite frankly, the bare minimum to avoid the Digitine, and I don't think it's good enough doing the bare minimum at this point. Like, if the bare minimum is sharing that AI generated artwork of Eyes on Rafa, which doesn't even actually portray things as it is, then you're not really doing it because you want to do anything. You're doing it because you want to avoid the Digitine, and you're not even doing it well, because that image doesn't portray things as they're actually happening in Rafa. It is portraying this generated version of it that's also, you know, it's AI. It's also bad for the environment, generating that image, the water, the electricity it took to generate that image. So, like, you're not doing anything good, but you're also encouraging the use of something that's really bad for the environment. And every time I see news in regards to the environment, I'm like, this feels like it's going to be really bad within my lifetime. Like, maybe it is really bad in certain areas, but for me, I don't feel like it's directly impacted my life, but it feels like it will be directly impacting everyone's lives within my lifetime, and that's scary. And I don't know why anyone wouldn't be scared of that, and why anyone would want to continue using something that could speed up that process, you know? And then I see the people talking like they've put billions of dollars into, like, these companies have put $1 billion into generative art, so it's like sunk cost fallacy. They've kept putting money into it because they've put money into it and they just want it to work at this point, and it's never going to work. And I'm not convinced that any big business person is actually good at business. They just put lots of money into it until something works and ignore the things that don't work. Like, I don't like business. It just seems like one whole big pyramid scheme at this point. They just pour money into it because they can, and then eventually they get the result they want because they were able to pour enough money into it. Like, where what is the good in that? There isn't. I can't say I really planned on saying as much as I have, but you know, maybe I just needed a little bit of time to rant and rave, as it were. Character. What colours would I want this character to have? I think I've done the add part of the prompt. Do I want her to have boots or little socks? And obviously, if you wanted, you could, if you did it and you got to this point and you're like, this character is changed enough, you could do that. It's entirely up to you. Ah, I didn't realise I was drawing so small. Whoops. Let me duplicate this layer and save this sketch. Because, you know, always good to keep sketches. I'm gonna save it as a transparent thing. Save, PNG, put it in this month, it is June. Sketches, 2, and 1. Did I just save that in sketches, or where did I save that? What colours do I kind of want her to have, actually? So I don't really need that to be multiplied, do I? What kind of colours? I'm going to do messy colouring. This is going to be our takeaway, so we are now taking away some of the basic colours that she previously had. I think having some orange added would actually be fun. I'm going to use this brush for our colouring, because we're not going to be doing tidy colouring, it's going to be rough colouring, as a treat. I have the stability way too high on that. I definitely like having stability as a tool, but it's definitely a thing I modify as I draw. Do I want this to be... Yes. If you were doing this based on someone else's character, obviously you would need to modify the character more than I have, because I think I will just do one round. But if you were doing this, you would need to do more than one round, I think, and get more changes than what I have done. Especially if you're using someone else's character sort of as a base. And definitely if they have... You should check how they feel about that kind of thing. Like, for instance, some artists will have, don't use my art as an inspiration, don't copy my characters, don't do this. These are the rules for interacting with my characters and my art. You should definitely check that. Like, as a general rule, I wouldn't want people copying my characters, but specifically for this challenge, if you wanted to pick one of my characters and be like, yeah, I'm gonna go a few rounds and change that character into something that fits my style and is more unique, I'm fine with that personally. And I know there's an artist, Dolly Guts. They go by Dreamalga now. They're a fairly big artist. They used to have way different feelings, but now at this point, their personal art, they are okay with people copying or tracing that. Last I checked, you should probably check their if they have like a TOS or something that frequently asked questions or a thing that states their boundaries. I think they're okay with that as long as you're not doing it with their commissioned work, because then that is, you know, other people's stuff. But definitely look for artists that are happy for you to do that kind of thing. Or even just use pictures of actual people. Like, take a picture of a famous Instagram model and draw them first in your style, and then take away, add, and change. I find if you're having struggles with making a character, sometimes having something to start with can really help. Like, I think adding some orange has already made this more of a fun design. She's got little hearts in her eyes there. You can definitely tell when I drew her, she was very inspired by Dreamalga's art to begin with. Because every so often I revisit their art and I'm like, I love this art, I wish my art was more like this. Because, you know, don't we all just have those moments where we're like, I want my art to be more like this person's. And honestly, I don't feel like I'm very good at copying other people's art styles. I probably did the eyes a little bit weird, but you know, They can have weird eyes. It's a treat. I don't know if I'm going to actually do a clean version of this artwork or not. If I do, it probably won't appear in this video. I will probably put it on Toyhouse, because I do put all my art that ends up on my computer of characters, it does end up on Toyhouse. Because Toyhouse is kind of the only site I trust to not be scraped, because I assume the owner is an artist. I haven't actually verified that personally. But, you know, if you're making a website entirely dedicated to characters, I feel like you would be an artist. I feel like that's a reasonable assumption to make. I think blue here is fun. Especially this shade of blue. I keep my hair dyed red in real life, and I have been doing since last year, I think. I really enjoy having red hair, and I find it really easy to maintain. But while I was looking online to see about buying more red dye, because I use Manic Panic and I have a little tub of it, and it's taking me a while to get through this tub, but eventually I will need to buy more dye. And I saw there was this shampoo, and it was like anti-red shampoo, and I was like, huh, well that's the opposite of what I need. And I assumed it was like something you put in purple here, because I think purple and red are opposites. So I thought maybe you put anti-red dye in your purple here to remove the reddiness from your purple, but no, you actually put it in brunette here to remove the red undertones from your brunette here. So that was an interesting thing to learn, but it did make me think, hey, maybe I should dye my hair purple next and maintain purple for a while. That could be fun. So I started looking at purple dyes, and I didn't really find a shade I liked the look of in terms of being a bright purple, because if I'm going to go purple, I want it to be like a really bright purple, not a boring purple. You know what I mean? But I did not find the purple I wanted, and anyway, if I were to dye my hair purple, I would have to bleach my hair first, and I have this little short patch of hair, like, in the front of my hair, like, it's just this little bit that sticks up in this very cartoonish way, because when I last bleached my hair, because I had to bleach the regrowth, because my hair grows in quite dark, so I had to bleach the regrowth in order to put red over it, and I fried a little bit off, whoopsie doopsie. I feel like the orange of her socks is a little bit flesh-toned, so maybe I should actually change that. What colour do I want instead? Maybe like a paler pink? What colour are her socks? White socks for the original character. So pink will do. Yay! Pink, pink, pink. I'm still undecided about whether or not I want to go purple. Because, you know, I have been maintaining the red, so maybe it would be better to just keep doing the red, because it's so easy. Or, if I maintain the red, and next time I need to bleach the roots, I could just bleach all my hair and switch to purple then. But also, I don't know how long that will take, and how much red dye I need to last until that point. Because I have the little tub, and there's still some dye left in it, and I don't usually use much dye to just freshen up the colour. But also, my hair isn't the fastest growing. So like, this is a different shade of pink, I think. I'm not going to shade her skin because I'm lazy. I'm not going to colour her skin because I'm lazy. So yes, go forth and play this little art challenge / game thing. And if you do it, feel free to post each stage of the step, or if you're using someone else's art, preferably with it stating somewhere that they are okay with it. Actually, yeah, make sure they are okay with it. Like, make sure that it says somewhere on their profile that they are okay with that kind of thing. And definitely, if you do that and you post all the stages, make sure to put a direct credit to them, because, you know, we're not a fan of art theft around here. Like, this character was done using this challenge. The first person that my iterations are based on is designed and drawn by insert name here, and preferably have it be a direct link. Like, if you're doing it on Instagram and they have an Instagram handle, put that at there. And if they express discomfort, then obviously take it down, and verify that, and, you know, check in with them how they feel about it. Or even, if you want, before doing the challenge, to make sure that your effort isn't going to feel wasted, check with them first. or even send them this video and ask them how they feel about it, because you should definitely center someone's feelings when it comes to their art. Personally, if you want to do this challenge with my art, as I've already said, you can feel free to and go ahead. But yes, this is mine so far. I either will or I won't post a cleaned up image of this. You will just have to see. Thank you.